Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Julia XM. In today's episode, I'm going to be speaking on no contact. I'm not necessarily going to just be saying, oh, no contact is good, no contact is bad. I'm going to be breaking down some points that you should really think about when it comes to not being in communication with someone. Before we jump into the episode, I'm going to be speaking on symbolism, or rather, just something that I think everybody should be paying attention to, especially right now. I feel like a lot of things are coming out right now, and it's long overdue that people really see things as they are and really get themselves together. Stop being a puppet in a game that you were never meant to be playing. So there are two movies. One is really big right now, and then the other, it's a big movie, but it's not trending right now. So I'm going to speak on the one that's not trending right now, and that is The Lorax. The Lorax, I think people, if you haven't already seen it, even if you've seen this movie already, I really think you guys should go back and watch that movie, because the world is getting closer and closer to how the Lorax was. I'm not even going to speak on every single country, because I think a lot of other countries do care for the land more. I do think that. I mean, I haven't lived there, so I don't know everything that goes on, but I have seen the land there and I've seen people talk about it, the differences. So I do think other countries outside of the United States of America are more caring for the land that they are on. But either way, this still is an issue that's not just in that's not just in the United States of America. Whether you are someone that is contributing to the planet, or somebody that is not taking great care of it, you play a role. A lot of people use plastics. Plastics aren't good. All these fake trees coming in, etc. Trees being cut down. And there are a lot of things going on. In order to change the world, you're going to have to first change yourself. You're going to have to change yourself. And a lot of people say, me doing these actions won't help anything. But it's a lot of people saying these things. It's over 1 million people saying that they feel this way. And if those people that are saying this would just help themselves, or act in order to help the earth. If all those 1 million people would do the things that they know they could do to help the earth, instead of saying that their one act would not change anything, then that would be 1 million people helping with the earth. There are resources to help the earth. There always is, there always will be. But certain resources and access is not going into helping the earth. It's going into destroying it. So I'm going to leave that at that and really let it sink in. Really let it sink in. Moving on to the second movie is Avatar. I love Avatar so much. The whole entire Avatar trilogy is so amazing. And I'm not talking about Avatar like The Last Airbender. However, that is great too. That is great too. But I'm specifically speaking on the movie Avatar by James Cameron, I think it is. It is so educational. Yeah, it just reminds me of that quote. Is this play about us? It is. It always is. I'm telling y'all, a lot of the movies are. I don't think I can name one movie where a film, and even a television show, that does not have some type of symbolism in it, or like truth in the world. So let's go ahead and jump into this episode. I have an episode out. I think it is episode 2 of the podcast. And this episode is entitled Your Happiness Over That Relationship. Yeah, so check that out, because in order to get into the no contact point, you have to be cut off or cut them off. And in that episode, I'm trying to help people have the courage to leave a relationship, platonic or romantic. With that being said, first things first, remember your reason for leaving, okay? Remember your reason. If you are missing the person, whoever it is, if you are missing that person, that is totally okay. Missing the good times. And honestly, you can even cherish the bad ones because you can learn things from them. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I love sadness. I just love the depth of it. I really love it. I love the whole process. I enjoy the whole experience of being sad. Listening to sad music, which I don't listen to sad music because I know it programs your subconscious mind, and I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to it. But it's not even just being able to listen to the music, it's being able to resonate with the music and really feel it. I love music. Being able to be sad is so amazing to me. It's a gift to be happy and it's a gift to be sad. I love it. I love it so much. I'm just saying that to say again, it's totally okay to not just want to discard the bad moments. A lot of bad moments I've had in relationships, platonic, in any type of relationship. Those bad moments, there are a few ones where I'd like to, maybe not cherish them, but arguments and whatnot, all those bad moments, or even just being mistreated, it's so interesting to me. I'm very intrigued by it because those those moments taught me things. I mean, not those moments because I wasn't even getting the lesson in the moment all the time. But those experiences got me to where I am today, and it's so interesting to see the things that helped me become the person that I am now. It's just so interesting. But again, yeah, so remembering your reason for leaving. When people get nostalgic, a lot of the time they start to miss these people, even if those people did them wrong. Because in this moment, the happy times are overshadowing. A lot of time, the good moments are so loud and vibrant that these people don't even. And I'm gonna admit, a lot of the stuff that I talk about in this podcast, I too have experienced this. I talk about this in the first episode. I'm not judging you. I'm talking to my past self at this point. So, yeah. A lot of times the vibrant things, it just like it's so loud that it in your mind you make it so that it downplays the bad things. Not even necessarily bad things, but the things that weren't great to go through. It wasn't great going through it. And then people are like, okay, it wasn't even that bad. So they break no contact. They break no contact. And this person is not changed at all. They're still in the same behavioral patterns. If they have changed, great, great, of course. But a lot of the times, when these people go back to others, these people have not changed at all. They haven't changed at all, like most of the time in my experience. Hearing people's stories and in my own situations. Actually, in my case, if I've ever got so nostalgic and then texted a person again, breaking no contact, they have gotten worse. Like their behavior has just it went so downhill. It was already down a hill, so how could you even go further down? But that's just in my experience, and it's like mind-boggling. It's crazy to me. It's just so wow. It's wow. Remember your reason for leaving. Don't let the nostalgia get to you, and then you come back to a person who hasn't changed. It's one thing if they have changed, but if they have not changed, then don't just don't get back in that same position that you were in, you know? And now here's the thing. You may have not been the one that cut them off. So, I said remember your reason for leaving. This is if you cut them off. However, if you were cut off, ask yourself why. Was it something to do with them, or was it because of your behavior? See, I say, was it something to do with them? Because it could have been just like they were envious of you and they left because they couldn't handle it, or maybe they just had some things going on in their personal life and they couldn't deal with a relationship of any kind at that moment. So, Ask yourself, was it them or was it you? Really reflect on it. Really reflect on it if it was something to do with you. And even if you did the cutting off, take that moment. I want you guys to be thinking right now on things you could have done differently and what these people triggered in you. Do this because we're going to talk about it later. Spoiler alert. But yes, just be thinking on it. We are going to move on to something different for now. And actually, this thing that I'm about to bring up is how I even got the idea for this episode. I don't recall exactly what I was doing, but I think I was getting nostalgic or something. And I'm a very I'm an avid fantasizer, and when I fantasize, I get a lot of ideas, and I reflect in my head a lot. And this is also how I get my ideas. I'm like, okay, I'll share this with everybody else. This is how I get my ideas. Just reflection and fantasizing. Yeah, so I think I was getting nostalgic. And then I was like, everybody has a purpose in your life. A lot of people say that they hate the fact that their time got wasted in a relationship, and this is mainly with romantic relationships that I hear. I don't think I've ever heard it with a platonic relationship. But for me, I just don't regret any type of relationship that I've ever been in, no matter the label, platonic or any other kind. Um, I don't regret it because I learned so much from these relationships, so I don't regret it at all. I'm not regretful. Not only that, but there are good memories with these people, so I just don't regret it. And I say that to say, sometimes people only have a reason for a season. That was the quote that had came to my mind when I was like reflecting in my mind or whatever, being nostalgic. Sometimes people only have a reason in your life for a season. It's important to know this. It's important to know. Of course, there are people who could be in your life forever, but for others, sometimes they only have a reason for a season. I asked you guys to reflect earlier. We're not there yet. We're not going to get to that yet, but just keep that in mind. What was their reason in your life? What was their purpose in your life? I'm an avid believer, and I'll look it up because there has to be some scientific data on it. I know there's some somewhere. But I'm an avid believer. People come to your life for a reason. People are in your life for a reason. Not just a reason, of course. Of course, I definitely think that's not the whole point of them being in your life, just to teach you something, but I definitely do feel like every person has a purpose in your life, even the tiny interactions. At first, I was very skeptical of that because I'd hear people say that, oh, every single connection is here to teach you something, and I was like, they used the word interaction, and I was like, every single interaction, really, really, Cassie, really. But I was like, you know what? Let me think about it. And I'd start remembering little interactions with strangers. And then when these interactions were happening in real time, I was like, wow, these people really do have a reason. They really do have a reason. Going back isn't all the time the best. Even if you haven't learned the lesson yet, that doesn't mean you need to go back to that person. The interactions you had will stick, and you can learn from it now. You don't need to go back to them to learn the lesson. Especially when someone was treating you wrong. You don't have to go back to learn the lesson. And some relationships end on a good note. But at this point, I feel like you're just kind of in different realities. Your realities are no longer aligning. They no longer align with each other. They can no longer fit into one another. So you shouldn't go back. Even if it's not any animosity left there. You just sometimes only have a reason for a season. And the quicker you learn this and accept this, the more it'll benefit you. Not only will you be able to learn what you need to learn from the relationship, but you will also not go back to toxic situations. So just keep that in mind. Things can be such a walking contradiction. This is why I don't believe in a black and white world. I know a lot of people in my life think I live in like just a white world, but honestly, things are so gray. There's two stories to every situation. Now there are some things where I'm strictly like, oh no, you're just totally wrong. Or like, no, this is just totally on the like this is totally just low vibrational. I don't care. I don't care how many sides you look at it. You messed up. You were wrong. Like I said, I see things very gray, so I know this could be contradicting to what we're talking about, but to get to the next point, reconciliation can be good. Opening that door back up to another person, it can be good. It can be good. In my personal experience, space can be so beneficial. It can be so beneficial. I I have people in my life now who I have such a great connection with at this point, and we only got this great connection after being away from each other for just a little minute. We only got this good relationship with one another after being away for some time. The thing is, opening up the door again, it only works when both parties decide to change. So again, reconciliation can be good. I'm only gonna uplift it if both parties have changed. I don't care if just one party has changed. I'm not gonna like say hooray because you're putting yourself back in a toxic situation. Like no. I don't even care if it wasn't toxic. You're putting yourself in a situation that it is not uplifting. It's not uplifting. Lastly, guys, the last thing, which is kind of the same thing that I was just saying, is basically all the things I was saying put into one. The last thing. Reflect. I know we already talked about this, but we're gonna go into details now a little bit. I said, pick out whatever you know that you could have learned from that relationship, platonic or romantic, it doesn't matter. Now that you've recognized what they triggered in you, you need to learn from it and heal from it, okay? You know what they triggered in you. It's time to learn and heal from it. The thing is, when people get angry and whatnot, a lot of the times it's because somebody is triggering a side of them that they need to see and reflect on. Now, that's not all the time. It's not all the time. Somebody could just have like such a crazy type of behavior. But even then, this behavior that they're showing could trigger you from your childhood. You could be like, oh yeah, my mother used to act a lot like that, you know? And this is why it's making me so angry. Even if they are in the wrong, you know, I still feel like a lot of times people are genuinely being triggered. And to be triggered is a gift because it's allowing you to see your shadow side. It's allowing you to bring things to light. You know, if you're aware of it, I'm going to reiterate, if you have had that friendship breakup or that romantic breakup, and then both parties are deciding to get back together, I already said it, but both parties they should have figured out what was being triggered and, you know, figured out what they were doing, what they could have done better, then worked on it. I mean, even if you're not at 100%, worked on it at least a little bit because that can go such a long way. It can go such a long way, you guys. And actually, even if both parties, even if both parties have changed and uplifted themselves, that does not mean that you have to become friends or get in a relationship again. Because again, sometimes people are only in your life for a season. You've learned what that reason is and healed from it. That does not mean that they have to come back in your life. Recognizing that is so great. Recognizing that is so great. And again, I know this may sound crazy for some, but that would make me so sad thinking about it. You know, it has made me sad thinking about it with certain people that are no longer in my life. It's like, you know, wow, you were just there for some time and that sucks. But again, I think to be sad is such a great thing. And the thing is, you're feeling. you are literally feeling. To feel, I think, it's the greatest gift ever. It's the greatest gift ever. I love being happy. I love being sad. If that person has not changed, y'all, stand on business, bro. Do not get back in contact with them. Just run for the hills. Do not get back in contact with them. You just shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should not get back in contact with them. Just because someone is no longer in your life does not mean there needs to be animosity there. And you know what? I'm a big person who's like, okay, I'm saying this to say there are certain situations where I'm just like, I don't ever be cool with that person again. That person is crazy. I don't care if you do change. Never speaking, never going to be good with you again. But that's not. But like keeping energy of I hate you, holding animosity there is not healthy. So even if they'll never be in your life again. Like, I don't mess with you. I don't mess with you. I'm not cool with you. If I had the opportunity, I would really mess you up. Even if you're like that. Holding that energy there. I feel like you can definitely not mess with somebody, but not hold, such an intense energy towards them that's only hurting yourself. For sure. So just keep that in mind. Even if you are in no contact with a person, try not to hold animosity there, because it's only messing with you. It's really only messing with you. I really hope you guys can benefit from this episode. Next Sunday is the last episode of this month specifically. The podcast is not shutting down. It's just the last episode of this month. I am so excited for you guys to hear what I have for these upcoming months. Okay, I'm so excited. I have such great topics and I'm so excited to share them all. So without making this long and drawn out, don't forget to leave the podcast 5 stars. More people who listen in and help themselves helps change the world. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's episode.